Welcome back to Stories, Fables and Ghostly Tales. Turn those lights off, the sound up, and get ready for something different. Today's story is very unique, an account of a paranormal experience whilst working as a janitor in a supermarket. What seems mundane rarely ever is in these cases, so strap yourself in for something different. Now, as a note, we changed the title to fit the premise, but the original author of this true story is Flyers Fan 1989. If you know what that relates to, let me know, I'm curious. I used to work as a janitor at a pretty well-known supermarket on the East Coast, known as ShopRite. I worked there from March of 2013 until September of 2015, so 2.5 years. I always knew this place had something to it, and used to talk to my co-workers about it. The first month that I worked there, I heard the voice of a little girl in the employee's bathroom saying, "Hey there." I was the only one in the bathroom, of course. I used to catch things out of the corner of my eye in the back room, shadows, or even figures that were not actually there. My co-worker and I would often hear voices while we were in the garbage chute, when no one was anywhere near us. I should note, the store was directly next door to the funeral home. Go figure. Anyway, the scariest thing that ever happened to me there happened in August of 2015, about a month before I left. I had just started my shift and was pushing the trash can from the dairy dock, where we keep all of our cleaning equipment, out into the store to change the trash in each department. The men's room is also located right outside of the dock, in what we call the dairy hallway. It's a single by 6 bathroom with one toilet and a sink. As I'm passing the bathroom, a customer stops me. He's an elderly man who looked a bit frustrated. "Sir, I've been waiting to get into the bathroom for almost 30 minutes. Someone has been in there the entire time. The door is locked, and you can hear them doing whatever they're doing in there." Concerned that maybe something is wrong with whoever is in the bathroom, I step up to the door and knock. "Anyone there?" Just as the old man said, I can hear the fan running and what sounds like someone scuffing their feet on the floor and talking to themselves. I couldn't understand what they were saying though. I knocked again and called out once more, but received no response. The scuffing sound and whispering continued, but this person was not acknowledging me in any way. So, just to be sure, I stepped back from the door and got down on the floor. There's a bit of space between the bottom of the door and the floor, where you can kind of see into the bathroom. Through this space, I could definitely make out the shadow of someone pacing back and forth, and could still hear them talking to themselves. I stood up and tried the door. Sure enough, it was locked. So, at this point, I have no idea what's going on. If they are pacing back and forth, then they are obviously not hurt. I knew that we sometimes got people that would go into the bathroom and do things that you shouldn't be doing in there. We'd caught people having sex in there, and we'd also caught people doing drugs. So, I came to the conclusion that someone was in there fooling around, and doing something that was probably illegal, and going to cause me a mess to clean up later. I grabbed my walkie and called a manager. I asked that the manager call the phone in the dairy hall, as I didn't want to explain over the walkie since some people don't use headsets, and I didn't want any of the customers to overhear. Once the phone rang, I explained to the manager, we call him James, that someone was in the bathroom in the dairy hall, and had been in there for 30 minutes. The door was locked, and whoever it was not responding to me, and there was another customer in need of the bathroom. So James came down to the dairy hall to help figure things out. Like me, he knocks on the door, tries the handle, and calls out to the person inside, and even gets down on his knees and sees the same thing I saw, the shadow of someone pacing back and forth. Also like me, he could hear someone whispering inside the bathroom. All of us are growing very annoyed at this point. James stood up and started trying to pick the lock. Eventually he managed to unlock the door and yanked it open. We were all expecting to find some damn junkie stoned out of their mind, or something. That's not what we saw though. We saw nothing. The bathroom was completely empty. There was no one there. No signs that anyone had been in there for a while. The old man who stopped me in the beginning of all this started laughing nervously. "I think I'll just go and use my own bathroom," he said before turning and walking away. I spent the next 10 minutes trying to figure this whole thing out with my manager, but we couldn't come up with any explanations. All three of us, James, myself, and the old man, had all heard someone inside that bathroom. The door was locked from the inside, and there was no way anyone could have locked it and gotten out without unlocking it. We never came up with an explanation for what happened. James, though freaked out, brushed it off and told me not to worry about it. I carried on with my usual duties for my 5-hour shift and told my coworker about it when he showed up. Later that night, after I'd left, my coworker texted me and told me that he had been cleaning that same bathroom, and the whole time he was in there, he thought he kept hearing voices and felt like someone was watching him clean. Well, that's a thoroughly creepy story. I think I'm gonna change my pants. That was a great story. And that was submitted by Flyers Fan 1989. Thank you so much. It really means a lot to have these stories on the show. So that's today's episode done. Remember, follow me on Twitter under the name Stories Fables GT. Join me on my Facebook page, Stories Fables Ghostly Tales, and visit my YouTube channel for some exclusives that I'll put on there. All of these are included in the links, or rather the description below. If you have any stories of your own, please send them my way. Myself and other tale tellers love them, we really do. And it's because people like you and Flyers Fan 1989 that keep me going. So tale tellers, keep creepy. Until next time.